Alright, so we're gonna go out and ride for a little bit because it's a nice day today, and I kind of want to ride. I just want to ride for a little bit before I stay home playing video games for the rest of the day, because that's my life. Anyways, we're gonna ride. I'm gonna show you guys how to ride a motorcycle, what to do, what not to do, from my own personal experience. Like, don't go reverse like this because it's hard. I ordered a GoPro mount for the chin of the helmet that's designed for my helmet, so I can actually have a more comfortable GoPro setup, because I'm using like a strap and it doesn't let me close my visor all the way, which sucks, honestly. It sucks because if it's cold, I'm gonna get all that wind inside me. Fuck. I'm trying to close it all the way. Maybe get some McDonald's? Leaning is scary. I've mentioned it once, I'll mention it again. On my Yamaha R3, this is literally the first spot I came to, so I can start practicing my wheelies, because it's always empty here, and if I fall in any shit, I don't embarrass myself, honestly. But anyways, let me just give you guys the basics on motorcycle riding, right? Am I still recording? Let me see. I'm still recording. So you got your front brake, right? You got your rear brake. You also have your clutch, and then your gear shifter. So whenever you're riding, you know, you got to learn to use your two hands plus your 2 feet at the same time. And then choosing out a first bike, usually it just depends on the person, honestly. Like me, I chose the R3 as my first bike so that I can learn how to ride and see how it feels. But then, like, after a month, I completely got bored of it. I was like, fuck that, I need an R6. I need a bigger bike. So I got a bigger bike because it's more faster, more convenient for highway rides, right? If you ever try to go into gear with your kickstand down, for the new riders, right? Like, watch, when I go into gear, the bike just shuts off, just because it's a safety feature or something like that. I forgot what they called it. Anyways, so right now I'm in first gear. Usually, for like, whenever you're a new rider, like, people are scared because they're like, fuck, I don't know how to ride, I don't know what to do. And as a new rider, like, look, I have my 2 feet down, if you can see, and I have my gear in, it's in first gear, and I'm just holding my clutch. I usually, as a new rider, usually like to let the clutch slowly go like that a little bit until you feel like the bike start to move on its own. You can just start like that, and then, you know, just practice using your hand brake. And then once you get comfortable with doing this, you give it a little bit of throttle, you know, just, you can see I'm like barely, look at that, barely giving it any throttle. I still have my 2 feet that I can use in case if, like, I want to just stop. I just put my clutch all the way in and then use the handbrake, and I still have my feet down. I was only going like, what, like 6 miles an hour? I mean, if you're going 6 miles an hour just to practice, I mean, that's fine. But if you're gonna start, like, you know, going a little quicker, like, let's go to 10, then you can put your feet up, stay in first gear, if you want to come to a stop, just clutch all the way in, and then you can use your front brake. Same thing like a manual car, basically. So let's go again. Let's go. I'm just making this video because I know there's a lot of people who on my Instagram who don't know how to ride, and they want to know how to ride, but they've never been on a bike. When you're on a bike too, if you're ever riding with other people, don't ever try to like keep up with them. Ride at your own pace, because if you try to keep up with somebody, you're gonna for sure crash. I mean, that's how you can learn how to practice first gear and learn how to ride for the first time. But once you get to like a little more like you're more comfortable with first gear, you want to just keep riding. I feel like a lot of people, when they get scared, is they're like, oh fuck, how do I come to a complete stop? Because that's how I was thinking when I first bought my bike. I was like, fuck, how do I come to a complete stop if I'm already going like 60 miles an hour? Literally just like a manual, right? And I'm still in first gear, 30, neutral, and then just slowly let go of the brake, and then you put your 2 feet down, kind of walk a tiny bit. So it's honestly, it's super easy. Buying a bike though for the first time, or before you ever even own a bike, it's honestly scary, because 2 wheels, no protection. You're like, you get scared until you actually start riding, then it's so fun. So now I'm in second gear. I got my feet on the pedals, I'm going up to third gear. Once you like get comfortable, I'm like learning how to shift and how to if the bike, when you're riding, it always wants to stay up. It always wants to stay balanced on its own. So that's something you always got to keep in mind. So if you're trying to like lean and do all this shit, for the most part, it'll stay up on its own. I'm gonna come to a complete stop right here. Go down to neutral. Have my brake, and then just stop. When you're gonna take a turn, don't fucking turn your wheel like that, because if you do that, you're gonna eat shit. You're gonna fucking eat shit. It's best to lean with the bike. Like I'm gonna just, I mean, if you're taking a slow turn like this, is fine. That's fine. You see? I don't know where I'm going. I should probably bust a U-turn, huh? Bust a U-turn real quick. Like, if you're going like 5-10 miles an hour, 8, it's okay to turn the wheel. But if you're going like 20-30, like, watch, let's see if I can do it right here. I'm going 9-20. I'm kind of leaning into the turn instead of actually turning the whole steering, this shit. And even while you're riding too, don't ever try to fucking turn it, because you're really gonna eat shit. I'm going up to third. Usually for like bigger people or taller people, if they want to buy their first bike, I always recommend that they just start with a 600, which is what I found out after I had bought my first bike, So if you're a bigger guy or a taller guy, definitely start with a 600, a bigger bike. But if you're somebody like a little smaller, a little more lightweight, then start with a 300, because the 300, it's way more smaller, and it's a lot more skinnier compared to this one. And then with the 300, it's a lot lighter, so it's easier to learn compared to a 600 or a bigger bike. What the fuck are they doing? He's like, yo, check out my kicks, my fresh G's. He's doing a drug deal. Little kids pumping gas. R6. That's pretty sick. I should have parked my bike over there.